or something. So when I said that if it's for a production database, you should do synchronous replication. This is what I mean, right? Development, test, and stage are called lower environments. These are lower environments, right? Production is a higher environment. That means that this is an application this is the database or the account that serves users. This is what we use for the business, for the day-to-day business operation, this account. This other account is used to develop or test or prepare the applications and databases for business use. Business use the database applications run in this production account. So when I say it's for if it's for a production database, use synchronous notification. This is what I mean. A production database runs in a production account. A production application runs in a production account. A production web server runs in a production account. A production user runs a production account. So when you hear the word, how do you deploy to production? Or where do you run? Where did you monitor application lag? You say I monitored in production. In your interviews, always say I monitored it in production accounts. Don't use this lower accounts. If they ask you where did you develop the solution or develop the monitoring solution, what did you develop the monitoring application that you say you built? You can say I did develop in the development account. They say where did you deploy it for business use? Say production account. Production account is the main account that we use for business, that day to day. But you develop it, you test it here, and you stage it here for deploying here. Okay. That's why you see this account doesn't have any connection to this account. It's separate. Everything that goes to the production account needs what? It needs an approval. It needs a manual review and a manual approval before it goes here. But here, things can be automated here. You can do CS here, but here, it needs a manual approval here. And then they'll ask you, where did you try out the POC? Where did you try out things? Where did you test things? If you want to create something, you do it in a sandbox account. Okay? Okay, cool. Let's wrap up and then we're going to create some databases here real quick. Okay. So event notifications are just notifications that you're going to get in your account, right? Database event notification configure so you can inform via email. You can be informed via email or SMS about database events, right? So you'll be informed via email if something happens, maybe database replication lag is above 5 minutes, database is running slow, there's long running queries, right? You inform for SMS or via email. So the notifications are like pretty much alerts. Then you have cost effectiveness, you're writing of that, and then limitations. Database have limitations, but this is not for you to know. This is not your concern, right? Because you're a database administrator, right? Or DevOps engineer. Then you have some limits. The maximum sizes for Postgres, SQL Server, and Oracle is 6 terabytes. It's maximum size. And then you have this 30,000 IOPS as well. So some of these things is just not for you to know, but you don't have to know them, right? So demonstrate how to launch an RDS instance. So we're going to create an RDS instance now. I'll have everyone log into their database accounts. We're going to create databases together, and we're going to see how to monitor them. Knowledge check. Which of the following platforms are available on RDS? Which of the following platforms are available on AWS?
C, option C.
Anybody else?
C.
Are you sure?
B.
What's the answer?
C.
Yes. Are you sure or you're just saying C because everyone says C?
Oh, I didn't hear what they said.
So you're not in class?
No, it's cutting in and out but I heard you. So
What's your final answer? Everyone give me the answer, guys. Come on now. I don't know how you guys are gonna do interview. You cannot answer questions here. I don't know how you're gonna answer questions. Imagine Sandeep Kumar asking you questions face to face, asking you to put your hands like this, like this, so you can see both hands like this. Then they answer the question. They don't want to type in anywhere. They don't want to look in anywhere. Look straight like this. Now, that's what they asked me yesterday in my interview. They said, like, can I see your hands? I want to see your hands. I'm like, these are my hands. I said, okay, answer the question. And I answer the question like this. They don't want to type. They want to look in left and right. No, they want you to look direct like this. So, anyway, you guys need to study. You need to, in 4 weeks' time, you will no longer see me. You will not be seeing me anymore. Don't worry. I'll be out of your way. The answer is B, right? We said Amazon takes open source systems, right? And creates their own, right? We said that RDS stands for Relational Database System. So is this a relational database? Is this a relational database? No, it's not. It's not. It's an in-memory database. Let me go back to it. It's an in-memory database. Right here. What is this database used for? What is an in-memory database used for? To improve what? To improve latency. Okay. So the answer is B. Aurora, Oracle, Microsoft SQL Server, Postgres, MySQL, MariaDB. Okay. And that's that. That's pretty much about databases. Nothing else left to do. Everything else doesn't concern us. So log into the console. Let's create a database. So I'm going to go into AWS. If you want to just watch my screen, let me do it first time. And then you guys can create it. Please, everyone just watch my screen first. Okay? Just watch my screen while I do it for the first time. So yes, actually, you guys already have these notes. I did send out these notes to you, database notes. I sent you networking. I sent you, see, chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6. You have all these notes. But I'll say it again, right? You have chapter 1, 2, 3, 4. You have 5. You have networking, which is VPC. 6 is, 6 is VPC. 7 is IAM is 5. I'll say it again. Database is 8, chapter 8. They also sent you CloudWatch as well. So if you look at underscore AWS, you see all these notes here. Chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 is S3, 6 VPC, 7 is DNS, 8 is databases, 9 is direct connect, 10 direct service, 11 is CloudWatch, 12 is application services, 13 is server migration, and then best practices. This is another one that you need to be able to know very well, just best practices, and then also troubleshooting as well. As SRH needs now to troubleshoot, right? We may not fix everything, but before we even report, we need to know what the issue is, right? So types of support, basic support, all these kind of things like that, right? So we're going to do support as well. So I'll send it to you. Typical problem with an EC2 instance, and then this is the solution, right? What do you check, right? So we'll do all these things, okay? Similar to best practices and all these things. Okay, if another SQL database, I'll email you guys the notes. If you don't already have it, I'll email it again. So we have done EC2 very heavily, which is the servers for AWS. Now I've done databases. Let's go ahead and look at databases. So database service is called RDS, Relational Database Management Service. It's a managed relational database service. Click on that. And you can see here, you have databases. You can create database. You have all the various types. You have Aurora MySQL. You have Aurora Postgres. You have MySQL. You have Postgres. You have MariaDB. You have Oracle. You have Microsoft SQL Server. You have IBM DB2, which is a new one they just added, right? Like I said, which two are the most popular used in the industry? You have Oracle and Microsoft SQL Server. So let's create that. Let's create Oracle, for example. So when you choose Oracle, you say right here. So with Oracle, you can create an enterprise edition or a standard edition. Most companies will use an enterprise edition because like, obviously an enterprise level means it has all the features, all the tools you need for database, right? Like Amazon.com is Oracle, it uses Oracle Enterprise feature, right? So then you see here, the license is bring your own license. Because I don't have the option here for this is bring your license because Amazon doesn't resell my Oracle licenses, right? They don't resell Oracle licenses. So you have to bring your own license. So you see here, software development lifecycle. So I was telling you, you can create a production level, production grade, or production database, or a development and test database. Remember what I was telling you here in this document here? A development and test. You can use a database that you do for development and for testing, or you can create one that is all production based. So you see here, if you choose production level, it's more expensive. It's gonna be like a huge instance class, right? Like it gives you higher IOPS, 3,000 IOPS, storage. It's gonna be higher, multi-AZ deployment. See, it's gonna create a standby database instance for you, right? So you have a primary and you have a standby database. That's for production. For production, they're recommended for production to have a standby and a primary database. So two databases for production data deployments. Because production means that you're using it for your application, for your business day to day. You want to have a backup database in case one database goes down. The other database can pick up and continue serving customers. So you see here, you have production, you have development and test. So if you have dev and test, it's just basic. You don't need to do not create a standby database instance because it's development or test. It's not important. Okay? And then for development and test, you can enable public access. Yes. So we're going to create a two. I'm going to create production first. So I'm going to give it a database identifier. I'm going to call this dormal.net. That's the name of the company. Username is admin. But there's no dot involved in this. So I'm going to call this underscore net. It doesn't like underscore as well. So I'm going to use hyphen then. Or just dormal. Dormal-db. I'm sharing my screen. Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't know what Kobe is doing. You're on a different screen, Kobe. You're doing your own thing. I don't know. Are you in class, Kobe? Are you here? Or you're somewhere else?
No, I'm here. I just see. I
You
see.
have something open. You have, I don't know, you have MC4 open somewhere.
No, but I see you.
Well, I'm sharing my screen. You have to go figure out
Okay.
yours.
All right.
The database name is DB, and then the username is admin. You can give yourself a custom password. So if you wanna manage your password yourself, you can enter your password here. You click on self-manage password. You can put your password in there. I'm gonna give myself a password. I'm gonna just call it password 123. You see, it's very weak because it's just very basic, right? Password 123, right? And then here, the instance class. If you want the database that is high memory, you choose memory optimized. So you give you like a 2 CPU, 16 memory, or you can choose a higher instance class. You see here, you have database R5, 16x large, 64 CPUs, 520 gigabytes of RAM. So you can go higher. So those notes are old. My notes are old. You can go higher and higher and higher and higher, right? But I'm going to keep it very, very basic. 2 CPUs, 16 memory. I don't want to get charged because this one doesn't have free tier. Okay? They're going to charge you for what you use. So provisioning IOPS, storage auto scaling, meaning that whenever we go low, whenever we're low on storage, automatically add storage for us. So the maximum threshold, I mean the maximum storage that we can have is 1 terabyte. You see that? 1,000 gigabytes. That's 1 terabyte. So it's never ever going to go above 1 terabyte. So we have enabling automated storage auto scaling. So it means that every time we're closer to our threshold for our storage, it should add more storage. AWS adds 10 gigabytes every time we're getting closer and closer. It adds 10 gigabytes for us. If you don't want it to add storage for you automatically and you want to manually add storage to your database, you can uncheck this box and it won't do it for you. Enabling this feature will allow storage to increase after specified threshold is exceeded. So you can add that and then you'll keep adding storage for you. You can also adjust this as well. You can say just 100, for example. All right, so it has to be above 1,000 gigabytes, which is 1 terabyte, right? So, okay. Multi-AZ deployments, create a standard database instance recommended for production. So we're going to create that. Connectivity, how do you want to connect to the database? Connect to an EC2 compute report. Connect to an EC2 compute resource. You can click that. I can give it an EC2 instance I want to connect to from the database, okay? Or we're going to connect to it directly from here without going to the database. There's some tools that we can use to connect to, I believe. Query editor right here, okay? Okay, and then after the database is created, you can now change this VPC. This is the VPC for the database right here. And then we want to access it. Since we're not in a company network, we need to access it when we're going to take public access, right? We're going to use the existing VPC and want to create a new security group. I want to add, we'll call it Domo DB-security group. Group. And I want to make sure I add port 1521 in there. That's the port number for Oracle. Password authentication is yes. If you want to turn on performance insights, that means that you want to check performance. You turn this button on. So it's free for 7 days. After 7 days, start charging us for it. Okay. And that's that. Create a database. Again, I'll start from the top. We choose Oracle. We choose Oracle Enterprise Edition, Production. Give it the name. Always give it a name that ends in DB, so that when it appears anywhere else within your account, you know that it's a database. Database means DB, means database. So if you're saying Isabel DB, Kwasi DB, you know, AY DB, right? Always give dash DB. The username is admin. Username is admin. Give it a password. I gave myself password 123. I can get self-managed password. I choose memory optimize the database, right? And then everything is default. And that's it. Click on, I make sure you click public access right here. So you can connect to it. Create security group, give it a name. Make sure this port is 1521. And that's it. Create a database. And the database is gonna create. It takes a while to create. It takes about 5 to 10 minutes to create. It's not very, very fast. Gonna close this stuff. You see, they're asking for elastic cache, right? So that's Oracle. I'm gonna go down and create Microsoft SQL Server. While this is creating, let me create Microsoft SQL Server 1. I don't know why I'm in West. Oh, I'm in California. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm in California region. That's why. So I'm gonna go ahead and create another database for Microsoft SQL Server. Amazon Aurora, RDS. I'm going to do the SQL Server Enterprise Edition. That's what companies use. Enterprise Edition. Take note, guys. They always use Enterprise Edition for production databases. Not standard, not dev, always enterprise. You can choose the most recent version, which is this SQL Server 2019. Again, you're doing production. You can call it normal DB-DB. Username is admin. I'm going to self-manage. Oh, look at that. Database name already exists. Okay. I can say dormo-db-prod for production database. Password. I'm going to give it password. 1, 2, 3. Password. 1, 2, 3. Which is memory optimized again. Same thing, right? See, for SQL Server, memory optimized is 4 CPU, 32. So it's doubled for SQL Server. Storage is smaller, however, right? See, availability and durability, they have multi-AZ. Yes. For SQL Server, it's called always on mirroring. It's not the same as what you call it. It's not the same as Oracle. It's different for Oracle. Okay. So don't connect to any existing instance. Make it publicly accessible. You can choose the existing security group that you created before. That's that. Don't use any proxy. A proxy is simply like you want something to connect on your behalf. No, you want to connect directly. Okay. That's the port number for SQL Server 1433. Microsoft SQL Server Windows Authentication, no. We're going to connect using username and password. However, on the job, you enable Microsoft SQL Server Authentication, right? And performance insights free for the first 7 days. And that's it. That's the cost for this server a month, right? Create database. That's for 1 month. So when it's done creating, I'm going to terminate it right away so I don't get charged. You see, that suggesting you add an elastic cache to it because it's a production database. That's just like add an elastic cache for it to store for in-memory with an in-memory database, right? To cache your stuff in there, right? To cache your data so that users can get their results faster. And that's pretty much it. Any questions? I've created an Oracle database and a SQL Server database. To connect to it, you go to Query Editor. Or let's look at server databases. Only Oracle server databases that you have access to be able to this. Okay, so cancel. So it's still creating. It takes a while to create. Any questions so far? If you want to look at the performance for those databases, you go to Performance Insights. And you select the database. When it's up and running, you select it. You come up, you select it, and then you're able to see all the metrics about the database. And then now in Splunk, you'll be able to add it under observability, add data, and then you'll be able to add the database here to monitor on the instance. And then you can pretty much choose what you want. Any questions from you guys? It's a lot, right? Or no? Do you guys want to go ahead and create a database right now? While we're here? We only have 8 minutes left. Someone to share their screen and I'll walk them how to create a database. Yes? No? Or you guys want to do it on your own? Everybody's quiet. Everybody's tired. Okay. We only have 8 minutes left. So the question was, why are we not connecting the database on EC2 instance? Usually, if I go to my diagram here like this, let me go to this diagram. That's a very good question. You have an EC2 instance here. EC2. This instance is running a web layer, your web server. And then you have an application server like this. Uh-oh. This instance is running this is your application server, running your application. And then you have RDS, the database, is running your database server. As we know, this is a 3-tier web application, right? Because your web layer connects to the application connects to the database. So yes, Isabel, its question is, why are we not connecting an EC2 instance to the database? We are not doing any kind of production deployment right now or application deployment right now. We're just creating a simple standalone database to see how it works, to connect to it and play with it and practice. In production on the job, the application server, which runs on EC2, the application, Oracle application, Amazon.com, pricing.com, that runs on EC2 will connect to the EC2 instance. It will connect to the instance. The connection that occurs between an instance and the database is either going to be a JDBC connection, a Java database connection, or an open database connection, ODBC. If it's an Oracle database is going to be a JDBC connection. If it's a SQL, if it's a Microsoft SQL Server database, it's going to be an open database connection, ODBC connection type. Okay? Yes, Isabel is correct. We're supposed to connect an EC2 instance to the databases. But for now, I'm just doing a very basic practice. There's that capstone project that we gave that we're going to do together, right? There, we're going to be connecting a web server to the application server, and from this to this. If you wanted to do a project like this that connects all three, there's a project called Adrian Control. There's a project here that you can practice. You can do this. Where is it? It's here. Right here. There's a project here called AWS Simple Demo. Where is it? This application right here. 3-tier web layer, a web app. This is it. You have a web app, application layer, and a database. So you start with one server, and then you go to a 2 server, and then you go to 3 servers. You can do this. You can do this lab together as a team. Set up the environment, automate the builds in launch template, split out the database into RDS and update the launch template, split that into a WordPress file system into if and update it, and then do this, right? If you want to do this, that's what this will help you be able to deploy a 3-tier web application, the web layer, the app layer, and the database layer. Okay. Are you guys interested in doing this? An advanced demo, right? It's very detailed. The instructions are in here. Stage 1, everything is there. Where is it? With screenshots and everything. Again, you can know how to run a CloudFormation template. So you just have to run that. You don't have to do anything manually. It's all automated, right? Um, so stage one, this is the steps. Do this step, do this step. Stage two, stage three, stage four, right? All the steps are here. Sudo DNF update, install this, start the system. Everything is there step by step for you, right? And then you'll finish stage one. They go to stage two, follow the steps, right? Everything is there. It's a good practice. You practice Linux, you get to practice on it's some DevOps works some DevOps work as well. Create database, manually launch the instance, do a test. So everything that you see here, like this development, test, production, you do it in this lab here, right? This lab, you test it, perform some initial configuration, finish stage two, go to stage three, add a database, create a database subnet group, create RDS instance like what we just did today. You use MySQL for it, right? You create a WordPress application, run all these commands, right? It's lengthy, right? It might not take you 1 hour or 2 hours. It could take about 3 hours to finish your whole thing or more, but it's good practice, right? Then you add a file system to it. It's pretty much more than SRE. I'll tell you that it's more than SRE work. So if you're interested in doing it, I'll send you guys a link. You can guys can do it as an individual or you can do it as a group. It's up to you. It's just good practice. Okay. It's just good practice. So I'll put the link in the chat if you're interested. Okay. But yes, we're just doing the basic right now, Isabel, right? We're not there yet where we're gonna be connecting EC2 instances to databases and applications to databases, right? It's just keeping it very basic right now, right? To those your first day you learn databases, so keeping it very basic, okay? But in the future we'll be connecting them. See, it's still creating. It's still creating. Okay. A very good question. Yes. You're supposed to connect your application to the database, right? It's supposed to be a connection like this. Okay. So if we have choose connect to the EC2 instance, we'll have to select the EC2 instance, right? Let me go back to databases. If I click on create, let me choose Oracle. I choose production. I go down and I choose connect to an EC2 instance. You ask me to select an EC2 instance right now. Choose this one here. You see that? I'll choose that. That's my Domosh application, this application here. That's it, that running, right? So if I choose that one and I go and I have to automatic setup, you see, RDS creates a new subnet for you to automatically set up, automatic connect, you see. Public access, no, because I'm connecting from that EC2 instance. So there's no public access. And then that's it. Choose my security group. And that's it, done, create. And so now I'll have to go now to this server. From this server, I'll now connect to Oracle from here in this box. That's it. Any other questions for me? I'm going to terminate these instances because they're very expensive. I think I might have to wait for it to finish creating first before I terminate them. But guys, if you create a database, delete it right away. Do not let it run. They're very expensive. They don't have much free tier. Or you can create a production or a dev or test one. Okay. Any questions for me?
Is there another homework assignment for Monday, next Monday? What do
I'll give it on Wednesday.
uh,
All right, guys. See you on Wednesday.